Hey everyone, and thank you so much for tuning in to the Tried and Tested podcast. I am your host, Tracey, and if you are not familiar with my show, this is a dating and relationship podcast where we talk about all things that have happened to us in the dating realm, whether it was back in the day or whether it was yesterday. We talk about finances, we talk about food, we talk about breaking up, making up, whatever. So today we have a special guest. We have my girl, Kiki. Say hey, girl.
Hey, what's up?
Hey, so thank you so much for taking the time to be my special guest today and kind of dive into this conversation.
Yeah, definitely.
Yes, honey. So without further ado, the topic is today, I didn't really know him. And
Right.
so just for a little background information on what this is, obviously as women, and it happens to men too, but we're talking about women today. We probably dated men where we thought we knew who they were, right? Because when you meet somebody, they tell you who they are. You know, I'm a millionaire and I'm an African prince, you know, I'm whatever. Right. Whatever stuff that people tell you, and that you take it at face value and you kind of run with it. Sometimes 2 weeks, 2 months, 2 years down the line, you find out that that's not the case, right? And you didn't really know him. So, Miss Kiki, have you ever met a man who pretty much gave you a false story or a representative of who he really was, or not?
Yes, girl. I definitely have met someone, a few people who gave me a whole story of who they were, and it turned out to be that was, you know, a whole false story, and everything that they said was a lie. And I ended up finding out down the line that was not, you know, who they really were.
Okay. I definitely, I mean, I could definitely agree with that because that has definitely happened to me, I think, more than once. People who are pathological liars who just want to tell you, you know, whatever. So in your situation, I guess, do you want to elaborate on, because I'm going to tell my little experience I've had as well, but do you want to elaborate on any situation in particular that you found out like, whoa, I don't know who this man is, I don't know who I'm dealing with, I don't know what happened?
Yeah,
ahead,
so one of the most memorable situations where that had happened to me where was when I was introduced to somebody, and this is after, like, you know, I had been single for some time, and I was introduced to the person, basically, you know, hey, like, this is, you know, my friend, he's cool, don't really take him serious. That was a red flag, but she had told me that, don't take him serious, and I was like, okay. In my mind, I wasn't ready to be serious anyways with anybody. I just, you know, summertime, just wanted to date, you know, go on casual dates, things like that. But, things, you know, the more time you spend with somebody, the more things grow, and, you know, it turns into something else. We ended up really liking each other. And fast forward, we ended up being together. This was somebody that had children, which I was initially not okay with. I'm not the type to really date someone with children. That's not my thing. That's not, like, you know, the package I would normally go for. And that was also a red flag. But I still, you know, did not listen to my intuition. Was very convincing, very charming. Like, I got everything under control. You know, everything will be fine. I'll prioritize you. I'll make sure your time management is important, which he did, but it was all a facade. And I ended up finding out, after some time, which almost a year, that this man was indeed not single, one, and he was actually in a marriage, a whole marriage.
Yeah.
And to make matters worse, he was actually seriously involved in a church, a well-known church at that, and it was just a big mess, a huge mess.
Oh, wow. So just, well, as far as the church is concerned, I mean, the church is a building at the end of the day because anybody can enter there. So
Anybody
people
can
can go in there,
But I did not know he was involved in the church and preached at the church. So yes, girl. Yes, girl.
And you said a year, right? Wow.
Almost a year. Almost a year.
So that's definitely an example of, you know, someone that you didn't really know, but they try to, you know, portray themselves a certain way. So I do have some questions regarding that. So obviously you mentioned your intuition. So with your intuition, like what kind of signs? Because I feel like women, there's certain things where you know something isn't right, and you got the signs, but you don't really act on it. So in this time period, like in a year, like when you look back, do you actually like feel like, no, I didn't know, I wasn't sure, like, you know what I mean?
Right. So there was many signs. Like I said, when you're into somebody, a lot of things you just, it's like you become negligent to a lot of things, and you kind of turn I don't want to say a blind eye, but you're just naive, you know. Everything they say is like you want to believe them, even though in your heart you feel like something's not right. But even people around me, my best friend, my family members, like, oh my gosh, you're dating with somebody, because that was shocking to them. They did not trust that. And he would make stories and say that, oh, my child's mother don't live with me. She lives she has her own place. And, you know, it's just me raising the kids and my mother. That was also a red flag, because I don't know any, like, culturally, like an African man that's going to be raising multiple children by themselves with just their mother. And the child's mother is not really in this, you know, like he made it seem like they were in their life, but she had her own life. So that was a red flag. Another red flag was that I had never been to this person's house. That was also another red flag. So, and the fact that there were certain times of the night that he'd be like, oh, I can't talk, or, you know, the kids are sleeping, I'm trying to put them to bed, and it would just be like, okay, those are like blackout times that we can't communicate. Obviously, why? Because there was somebody else in the house, which happened to be the person that he was married to. So, it was just a lot of things. Well, you know, as time went on, it got worse. And like, you know, I was just like, listen, God, I need to know what's going on. I cannot be in a situation where I am, you know, the blind leading the blind. I need you to open my eyes, give me discernment. I feel like something's not right. But you know, sometimes you're just so caught up, you need to see it with your own two koro eyes, like, you know, and as your person would say.
Yes. OMG.
So, I started praying. I was like, God, let me know if this is the one for me. Let me know if this is who I'm supposed to be with. Give me a sign. Show me something. And I was talking to God a lot. And he just gave me the sign. And then one day, it was just something that just came over me. I said, listen, you're lying. You're lying about something. Something is not right. And then what if you're lying about? It's big. It's huge. And it's something that is really, really going to, like, destroy whatever we have. And I gave him a chance to be honest about it. This man came and lied again. And I was like, oh, no, we're not going to do this. I did my own little research, found out everything about the individual that he was with, and I spoke to her myself, and that was the confirmation, like, okay, yeah, this is it, Kiki.
Wow.
Mm-hmm.
But listen, I mean, girl, like I said, I've definitely been there before, but it takes a lot out of you, because it's kind of just like, what kind of people are out here? Why are you out here living a whole lie? And if you're able to take on a marriage and a serious relationship that, as a man, like, how do you even feel? Like, is your mind okay? Like, I would be stressed out. And I feel like women are smarter than men. So I feel like I know, like, you got to be stressed going back and forth and all of that. So, okay. Yeah.
Yeah, that was intense, right?
But yeah, it definitely is. And I just want to put out a disclaimer for the fellas. This is not a man bashing session by any means.
No, not
We're
at
just
all.
talking about the experiences that we've had with, like, people who are, like, super duper liars. And
living
so
double lives.
Yes, and that's exactly what it is. So the experience that I had, funny enough, was kind of similar. Like, this was about 10, I don't know if it was 8 or 10 years ago. I cannot remember. Same thing. And this man was African. I don't know if yours was African. I'm assuming he was.
Oh, yes.
Okay, yeah, because this is what y'all do. This is what our African
No,
brothers do.
again, and I mean, I'm not trying to shame or bash African men, but this is something that needs to be addressed in our community. Like, it's happened to too many women, and this is not okay. Like, they do not value their women. Like, first of all, you're not valuing your wife, and you're not valuing the African community, the women. You're not valuing us.
Yeah.
So on both ends, like, it's a fail.
No, I definitely agree. And so like I was saying, like with the story that happened with me, like it's pretty much it was similar. Like, you know, I went to some outdoor or something, which was like a baby's party or whatever. And I met a guy. He was nice. He was cute. He was a little weird, but you know, so it was summertime. The same thing like what you're saying. Like you want to enjoy the summer. You don't have any expectations. And then we kind of like ended up in a situation like where we were dating. And so I think like 3 months or so into the relationship, somebody had told me, they were like, oh, yo, I heard he was married. And I was like, what? And then I asked him and he was like, no, why would she say that? I'm like, I don't know. She's not my friend. No way. So, but then it's like, I would hear it like every so often. I would hear it. I'm like, but I would ask him and he wouldn't, you know, but long story short, yeah, like he ended up, he lied about the amount of kids that he had, the amount of baby mamas that he had, and the fact that he was married. Yeah, so it's kind of like, and for me, I found out for certain, like after a year, I think on Facebook, like somebody had hit me up, and this person, I didn't see my messages because I don't really check my Facebook messages, or back then I didn't. And like this girl was like having a whole fight with me by herself. Like she had been writing me for like a month. Yeah, for like a month, and she was going through like different emotions. You could see with the messages. So today she was coming for me like I look like this, and the next day, oh my God, I'm so sorry, I didn't mean it, but I'm hurt, and blah blah blah. So it was a lot like going on.
Wow.
But then it's like when I saw it and I presented it to him, girl, he was just like, he didn't say nothing. And I don't know who told men that, like, you know, if all else fails, say nothing, because that made me angry enough to like, I was ready to do some, like, I was ready to kill this man, like, not like kill him, but I was ready to fight him because it's like, what do you mean? Exactly. And then of course it's like you can, yes, and then you continue to just lie. Oh, go ahead.
The worst for me, no explanation is not even bad. The fact that you had a chance to be honest and you still lied, and you've been caught on both ends, and you're still lying. Like, you're still lying. Like, let me explain. Let me tell you what really is going on. Like, don't believe nothing. Whoa, that is scary. That tells me you have traits of a serial killer.
Like something is psychologically not correct.
Right.
Because you can cheat. Like, let's say, like, I know people who are married and who have girlfriends, but the thing is your girlfriend knows that you're married. Like, you've given her that option.
Give somebody the option.
Yes.
But then if they agree to sit with you or do what they, you know, then that's it. They could pick that up with God, or they could pick that up with whoever they're going against. But you're just going to lie and invite somebody into a situation where they have no idea what they're even walking into.
Blindsided. And that's, but wait, my situation, it's not even it. So after I found out, like when he finally gave the response, it was like, oh, mind you, this lady lives in Africa. So it's like they're married in Africa. And so it's more or less like, oh, you know, we got married. And she's actually from the Netherlands, and she was doing my papers for me, and blah, blah, blah. And it became a whole, but let me tell you, when you're in a situation like that, it will mess up your mind. It's like you don't really know, like, what's going on. And so, like, that relationship continued on. So I think if I found out, like, around, like, May or June, and like I said, he was still denying it. Like, you know, like, I was married to her, but this wasn't actually legit, blah, blah, blah. And then even that plus the kids, and I agree with you. So I'm somebody, maybe now I would reconsider, but I don't want to date nobody with kids, period. And so because that was always something that was like something I would, you know, when we're discussing things, I would say it. So if I ever met a man with kids, usually they would lie. Some of them be like, oh no, I don't have no kids. And I'm like, wait. Later on when you find out they have kids, you're like, what kind of human being are you? Like, why would you deny your kids for a woman who, and you know, like, it's crazy. But yeah, so like, that was a situation where you feel like you are with this person, and I don't believe in this anymore, but at the time, like I said, I was young and stupid. I was living on my own. So we were living together. So imagine, like, this is somebody that you live with, this is somebody that you care for, and it's like someone that you fornicating with, and this person is married. Like, it's just, so like, that's definitely a situation where it's kind of like, you're living with somebody who's a psychotic, human being because you don't really know who you're dealing with.
Pathological liar.
Yeah, so that's scary because it's kind of just like, women are out here and we are the victims in this situation where it's like somebody can just blindside you and then of course it's like for them it's like, okay, so when they finally, like with him, I remember he talked about the kids and he was like, oh, well, yeah, I do have kids. And then after that it was like, I'm supposed to just get over it. Like it flips it on you, and so
That is
it was
sad.
definitely, it's very sad. It's very, very, very sad because I don't know. But then I feel like in this situation too, then it's like you're supposed to trust your partner. But like I said, I had people who mentioned it to me before, and I didn't believe it.
Right. Same.
Yeah.
I had the same friend that this friend actually knew that he was actually married and did not tell me, which makes her not a good friend. We're actually no longer friends anymore. But this person, the same friend, actually dealt with this person previously at a point.
Wait, the one who connected y'all?
Yes, girl. It's a
Oh no. Oh no.
Mhm.
So but that goes with the title though. I guess you never really know a person.
Yeah.
Forget him. Like, wait, what was she doing?
Exactly. Like when you're in this world, this life, you just really, really, really have to realize I don't want to say have low expectations for people because you should have expectation in any situation that you're in, and you should have expectation in your relationship. And people, you should keep people to a certain standard, but it's like there is so much failures, and it's just like sometimes you just don't know. Like, wow, you just never expect people to do you dirty the way that they do you.
Yeah, willingly.
So, yeah.
Like, I want to meet you and I want to ruin your life. So wow, like that's deep though. So have you ever been in a situation where, let's say you dated somebody and maybe you thought that they had money, like they looked like someone who was well dressed, well pulled, all of that, and then you find out that they're flat broke? Has that happened to you?
So yes, that has happened. I feel like everything has happened to me.
But yes, listen.
That has happened to me, but that doesn't really faze me. Like if I'm pretty, like if I'm like, back then I used to be attracted to men with like that were flashy, that what looked like they had money and looked like that used to attract me. So yes, there would be times where I would talk to somebody and I was, oh, he got money, oh, he drives his car, and literally they don't have nothing. Literally they're working a regular job, or they probably have no job, or back then they're probably selling drugs or doing X, Y, Z and everything that they're not supposed to be doing. So
borrowing money.
Yes, borrowing money, borrowing clothes.
Girl, talk about it. Talk about it. Okay.
So I have seen it all. Best believe I have definitely seen it all. But thank God for growth. Thank God for maturity, and thank God for these experiences because you can talk about them and you can know, like, okay, you can see it when it's coming. You know the signs. You know what to look out for.
Yeah. Yep.
So it definitely makes you wiser.
Yeah. It makes you wiser, but it also takes some healing because sometimes, like, what people do, it can really damage you and you don't even know. Like, you don't. Yeah, because you like, wait, like, you are
I will say my
whole.
trust level for people in general is very, very minimal. It's very hard for me to say, okay, I trust you. I trust you wholeheartedly. And that, I think, is part of the damage that I've received from the past experiences that I've been through. It's very hard for me to trust people. I wouldn't say impossible, but it's very hard. I do not take trust lightly at all.
Yeah, and you can't trust people freely because you don't know. Sometimes people have split personality disorder. They could be one person today, another person tomorrow. Some people are just wicked in general, like they don't know no better. Some people were raised the wrong way. So that's definitely, I definitely agree. And then also too, like one of the things as well, like when it comes to dating, I know that women are probably more open than men. And so like you may open up to your partner about your past, what you've been through and so on and so forth. But I don't feel like men do that as much. And so with that, you don't even know what you're getting into. You don't know what has happened to them. You don't know what's up. And it's like, if you see like in these situations, whether it's me or other people that I like talk to, like sometimes like the men honestly, like you would think like, yo, he's dead serious. Like he really doesn't think what he did was something so bad. Like he doesn't see the issue in it. You know what I mean? So
Yeah.
that's scary. Like you really have to be careful like with what and who you're dealing with, you know?
For sure. Like
So
this person was definitely delusional. I will say
yeah.
that. And even after they were caught red-handed, they definitely tried to lie. They not tried. They lied about the whole thing and acting like everything we were talking about was just. They
Like
meant
you
to feel like we
crazy.
were lying. Like we were. Like we were
Yeah.
crazy.
But I wonder,
Yeah.
like, if that's like I said, I don't know. Like, they don't talk about mental health in Africa a lot. So I don't know if that's what it is because I feel like there's a thin line between lying and getting caught and then just lying and believing your lies and not looking at it as it's something that's so bad. But, okay, so before we wrap this up, because we can talk about this forever, girl, but I gotta keep it to an episode. What
Right.
are some things I would say, like, okay, so for the women who are probably dealing with men that they probably didn't really assess beforehand, right? And they may be sensing some shady behavior. Like, what are some tips that you would give women from what you've learned as far as all of this is concerned?
As far as everything is concerned with dating somebody who you really don't know, I would say to every woman out there, really take the time to research who you're dating, who you're talking to.
Yeah.
You know, before you actually jump the gun and say, hey, I want to take this person seriously. I mean, yes, people have, don't always have good things to say about people, and you should be careful of who you take advice from. But literally, you could do your own research on people. There's computers. Look people up. There's Facebook. There's LinkedIn. There's Instagram. There's always that one person that you go to that's just like, hey, have you heard of this person? Do you try and feel the person out.
Yeah.
Do your background research. Cause, I mean, it's a small community, especially if you're dating somebody Ghanaian or African. Somebody always knows somebody. I'm not saying like you should believe everything. People always have negative stuff to say.
That's what I'm saying. That's the part. That's the issue because you don't know like who you're asking.
You don't know. But honestly, how I found out was I got my good old computer and I did my research, and I made one call, and that was to the person that was a suspect in the situation, and I had my answers right there. Imagine if I did that from jump.
Yep.
I would have saved myself so much time.
Yeah. Yes. And that is what, like, as far as the advice that I would give to women in this situation, even men, when it comes to someone you're dating, don't look at them as your friend. Like, yes, you should be friends with your partner, but don't like be so trusting and so open. Like, you need to make sure you protect yourself. You need to ask questions. Like, if anything with me back in the day, I'm the homegirl. I'm chill. Like, whatever you say, yeah, we're good. And the thing is, you need to ask questions, and you need to keep asking questions. If something doesn't make sense, keep asking questions because like you need to make sure you understand what you're getting into. I would say check Facebook because Facebook was out far before long before Instagram. And so like for me, like there were things that I would see on Facebook, like even people I just met, and they'd be like, oh, no, I don't got no kids. Then you kind of go through their page.
Good job of linking people together. I will say that.
Yeah, but it's just also like if you go back far enough in the pictures or in the posts or whatever, you may get some answers that you're not getting because all the and this is unfortunate, but I would say men sometimes, and this is also for women, but because of the topic at hand, men sometimes when you ask about their past relationships and you ask about their past whatever, they're at no fault. Like they have done nothing wrong. There's no, and so it's like they'll tell you anything and you don't really know what happened. You know what I'm saying? So you really need to definitely check. If you're in a situation where, let's say, you are born and raised in America and you're dating a man that is from Africa and he came over, that man has a life in Africa. So you need to find, if you can't do it yourself, you need to find somebody who can find someone that knows him back home so you do not play yourself, okay? Like, that's just facts. You know what I'm saying? So, yes. But Miss Tracey Boo, yes, honey. I definitely want to thank you so much for taking the time to share, this topic with me and talk with me about it. If the listeners want to add you on social media or if they want to ask you any questions, where can they find you?
They can find me on Instagram and also on Facebook. But I'm more active on Instagram. It's Miss _ Kiki Love. You guys can feel free to ask me for advice, ask me questions, or feel free to follow, like, and share my page.
Okay.
But I just tell everybody, just stay prayed up. Like, at the end of the day, stay prayed up. If you talk to God enough, if you ask God, you shall receive. I talk to God a lot, and He has opened my eyes and gave me a lot of answers to questions that I've had in the past. So that is all.
Yes, honey. Well, I just thank you, like I said, so much for taking out the time. And to my listeners, I thank you guys so much for tuning in again for another episode. And until next time, have a good one.
Bye, guys.